it was your father who rescued me. Amen. So, you know how you think you can do without God? And then something come and hit you. And you say, Lord, if you just get me out of this one. And Carl Carter was preaching the funeral of Roland Patterson. And I will never forget it as long as I live. And something came up in me and it made me realize that I had to return to where my mom and daddy had brought me. And I want to thank you, your pastors. Pastor has been so kind to me. Every time I see him, he's always got an encouraging word. You know, sometimes you see people coming at you on a duck. Because you don't want to hear what they got to say, amen?
Amen.
But he has always been there for me, and I will never forget one of the highest moments of my life was in this church at the funeral of Freddie Gray. And your pastor was responsible for that. Didn't want any other elected official to speak. But he said, you're not going to have a service up in Yap unless my congressman speaks. And I will never forget that, Pastor, and I thank you. He is truly a great man. Give your own pastor. I'm not going to be long because I know Jeff Majors. Oh my God, I've known Jeff for at least 30 years, at least. And he has always been there for me. And he has been a giant for the Congressional Black Caucus. Whenever we've called on him, he has been there. I just want to share a few things with you real quick. This opioid drug situation is rough. It's rough. Any of you who have been affected by it in your family, raise your hands. Come on, don't be ashamed. Yeah. The first drug case I ever heard of somebody dying from an overdose, I was 8 years old. A guy named Bebe down in South Baltimore. And I didn't know how he died. I was just 8 years old. I didn't know anything about drugs. And over the years, Pastor, people looked at folks who became drug addicted and said that it was some failing on their part. Some moral failing, that's what they're saying. But, you know, people who go through the process of drug addiction are so often in so much pain, they don't even know they're in pain. Come on now, don't act like you don't know what you're talking about. I have had people in my own family to die with regard to drugs. We're losing 70,000, listen up now, 70,000 people a year, overdoses.
Dang.
70,000. And if you can't figure out what 70,000 is, Raven Sagan knows about 70,000.
Oh my God.
About 70,000, somewhere in that area. That's a lot of people. That's every year. Every day, 200 people in our country are dying from drug overdoses. And so what we have to do is be about the business of coming together and working hard to make a difference. Now, it is interesting that while the president has said to me over and over again that the opioid problem is a very bad problem and something that we must deal with, the question is where does he put his money? Come on now. $10 billion was allocated for 3 or 4 years. And that does nothing. Let me tell you why. It does very little. Because in 2015, the drug problems in our country cost our country something like $500 billion. And a lot of people don't realize, it's like a ripple effect. Daycare. Grandmothers are now taking care of the children, their grandchildren. And there's some people in this room right now who've got some grandchildren coming here that you're taking care of. You should be resting and you're not. And then, and then the cost of families and the disruptions of families. And so what I did, and I've been working on this a long time, but what I did about 2 years ago, I joined with Senator Elizabeth Warren and came up with something called the CARE Act. The CARE Act. It would allocate $100 billion over the course of 10 years so that we can get proper treatment for people. Do you realize that in the United States, only 1 out of every 10 people who need treatment get it? And then you got some of these fly-by-night folk to sit up shop and feed our folks drugs, hoping they'll never get off of them. Don't give them any mental treatment to go along with it. And anybody who knows anything about drug addiction knows that usually it's accompanied with some type of mental problem. And so you got to treat both. And so, anyway, the CARE Act is something that I think is going to pass in spite of our president. In spite of him. Because what it does, Pastor, is it allocates this money, but it does something else. It allocates money to the local organizations who have a track record for doing a good job. It also helps with paying for naloxone. That's the antidote where somebody's having an overdose, they're able to bring them back to life. And guess what happened? When they found that naloxone was working, the drug manufacturer of naloxone jumped up the price overnight. And so it's a money game. And so the other thing that we're doing in that bill is that we are trying to take the stigma away from drug addiction. A lot of doctors don't want to treat people with a drug problem. A lot of them don't even know how to treat them. Don't know how to treat them and don't want them in their waiting room. And so we're addressing that and some other issues that are so very, very important. And the bill is patterned after the Ryan and White Act. As you will recall, a few years ago, we had a major AIDS problem, HIV/AIDS. And we've been able to do a pretty good job in dealing with it. Still got problems, but we've got it under much better control now. So we're going to be working hard to get that legislation through. In a week or two, I'll be going to West Virginia. Amen. And I'm going to go there, and they've asked me to come. And the people that they want me to meet with don't look like y'all. No, they don't look like y'all. But I'm willing to go. See, because I represent all the people. I represent all the people. And then the interesting thing is over the years, when it came a point in time where more of our white brothers and sisters were becoming addicted, suddenly, they said it was our fault. But we are where we are. And we're going to do everything in our power to address this situation. Last but not least, let me say this. I want you to pray for me. Pray hard. This is difficult.
Yes, it is.
The other night I was sitting in my house at 3:40 in the morning. and I so happened to hear some rustling at my door. 3:40 in the morning. I looked at my cell phone. Thank God for technology. And I could literally, like all kinds of cameras everywhere, I could literally see what was going on my cell phone. Guy was breaking into my house. Wow. I just so happened to be up. But Pastor, I know that was God. God woke me up.
Yeah.
See, you cannot beat God's plan. And so I sat there and I'm watching him. And my wife, she's a little bolder than I am. I screamed and she ran toward the door. I won't tell you what she said, but it wasn't cute. And took a picture of the guy. And then 3 hours later, the president starts tweeting about Baltimore and me. And it is painful. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's painful.
I know, man.
But you know, when I come here, what the pastor said when he said, "Did you all have my back?" When he said, "It means more than you ever know." It means more than you will ever know. Don't let nobody define who we are. No. You don't define me. You don't know me.
Tell us, Colonel Congress.
Here I am, son of 2 former sharecroppers who only had a 4th grade education. Don't tell me who I am. And there's something, I got to I'm closing that side. I'm gonna go. But let me just finish this. There's something, I'm so glad to be here, because I wanted to hear some of the music. I may have to leave a little early, but I wanted to come and hear the music. Let me tell you why. Because every hearing that I have, I meditate before I go in. I pray. Every hearing, for at least half an hour. Sometimes I listen to Jeff Majors, but I listen to that mellow kind of music, you know? And I say, God, this is what I ask God for. I say, God, watch my tongue. I'm not going to help somebody. And I said, God, give me the strength to withstand all of this. Because we are dealing with some difficult situations. And finally, I beg you, I don't ask you, I beg you, please vote. Vote.
Take this liberty, you know, to go to share with the congressman. The leader of our prayer ministry, Congressman Cummings.